Check, check, check. There we go. It should be fixed now. Thank you. Sorry about that, YouTube folks. Let me pull that up too. All right. Audio should be fixed. Check, check, check. I believe so. It looks good now. Thank you. All right, folks. So yeah, if you're a gold and silver person, I'm probably going to bore you today because there's not going to be anything to do on the charts. It's lockstep, neutral, stuck in boxes. So you need to be looking at other assets or potentially looking at, looking at other assets. If you're still wanting to stay with precious metals, you can try looking at copper and platinum. Right now, copper is in a bearish confirmation, potentially very small move for it to play out like so. And then platinum is also in a bearish confirmation right here, which is also playing out. So I'm trying to get platinum down to this target here. So you can stop looking at silver and gold. And then if you want to look at copper, copper's right here, platinum's right there. Their shorts are playing out right now. They just activated too right when the stream started 11 minutes ago. And then lastly, for commodities, oil continues to go really well from Sunday's analysis chart for you guys. And then just a reminder, I posted the chart right before we started the stream, True Algo members. But this is oil's chart from Sunday. And this is what I posted for it to do. I told you guys that last week when we did this, that this would be very bullish overall and something I would like. Came down, produced that, and now oil is continuing on its merry way. Full closes above the weekly system, bullish on the 4-hour, and now another muscle up. You've now closed over my next level, and there are no more daily or weekly levels now today, which means it's just up, and away for oil. So now just going line to line in the monthly system, trying to get oil up to now 10, which is basically 105. And then the next target will be 106.4. So that's gone well. Not sure on stocks. Real quick on stocks. Amazon's looking for calls at open. Apple is currently neutral right here. Microsoft is neutral. Nvidia is looking for puts. So 2 out of 4 neutral, 1 bearish, 1 bullish, which lines up with the market right now because the markets are neutral. Forex, DXY did have a bearish confirmation during the Asia session, and now it's retraced back up to here. And then the euro does have bullish confirmations up in this area. So at the moment, these are valid. And I'll try to find where the first long opportunity was right here. So this is what DXY is looking at. And then this is what the euro is looking at the moment. And then trying to push up. So that is valid. Crypto folks, ETH is currently neutral as we've hit this box. Bitcoin is neutral. Tether is neutral. So sorry to add another asset to the neutral column or asset class, but crypto folks, we're at the moment in a nothing area. So yeah, that is the update so far. Let me know what questions I can help ask you. Or sorry, wow. Let me know what I can help answer for you. I'm here to assist or certain assets you guys want to see. Yep, I'm I'm waiting to go west. I'm sure everyone else is going to be like me and already, but what else are you going to do? Just a reminder, everyone, again, that FOMC releases today, 2 p.m. Eastern time. There should be an injection of volatility. And then at 2:30, Powell will come talk. I wouldn't be surprised if this FOMC produces little to no volatility. So that would be unfortunate, but it's just something to be expected. We just got that next close for index futures and stocks. And we didn't get a change, but just the NQ now is in a new set of longs. But again, in order to take this long right now, again, you can see this green candle has hit this box and closed above it, which means it's bullish. The only way to take this idea is the ES also has to be in a bullish confirmation. And you can see here, we haven't hit a box. So there is no confirmation to take yet. The reason why I put this position on here like this to the side, it just reminds my brain what the current confirmation is. So it's easier to find confluence rather than having to set these ideas. Now, if we do something like this, that tells us that the play is active. But right now, only this asset is bullish. We can see that US 30, remember we said that live, we hit the box. If it closed green, which it did not, then it would have been bullish. But so because it did not, the US 30 closed red. Even though it closes above the box, guys, again, if you want to learn a little bit about the system, it has to close green above the box or red below the box. So it's closed red above the box, means it's neutral. Still can't do anything. So this is True Algo telling us that US 30 can still dig deeper on the current candle. And then UVXY and SQQQ, neither one of them have changed. They're both still neutral, which means telling us to do nothing. You'll see in just a second, just a reminder. So do nothing. SPY is telling us to do nothing. QQQ is telling us to do nothing. And then the lone soldier over here is Russell. So let's look at this from a risk to reward perspective. Ready? This right here is the initial long area on Russell. If you were up during Asia, this would be the next one. If you were up during London, and all of this being retracement, allowing you to get into any of these for retracement because it never closed below the box for a loss. This being the best of the entrances right around here. That ran 100 points. And then if you miss those, this is a valid entrance on Russell. Again, we're looking at every time a green candle has closed above the box. And then now we've retraced once again. So Russell being the lone soldier right now, this is the only one that's in a confirmation. So, and then this is what you're looking for. So about 123 points. That's still slightly smaller than the average win, but this is still valid. So I'm just going to put a little note here. This is a valid entry on Russell. It is the only asset right now that is bullish. So this can be sluggish or chop rather than a quick win. The other assets could start to confirm long as well to help it. But right now, it is by itself. It is a solo asset, which is great. But again, we're in the New York session. And so right now, those assets are going to heavily affect this. And just think about it like this. If SPY wants to do this, if QQQ wants to do this, then Russell is going to do this. When New York opens, Russell can diverge. And so if you're taking this Russell play, you just have to be aware that this could be a higher probability right now that it's not going to win. So I'm going to trying to put as many notes as possible from an educational standpoint. Though again, this is active, there is a higher probability this play currently will not win. Cool. And I need to go transfer those notes really quickly over to the current market sentiment. So if you guys can just give me a second. There's that one. So my goal is on the live is letting us know that this is a potential possibility that this play is active. So that's great. But the probability of in a live environment is if it's going to work in our favor. And right now, this one is stacked a little bit against us. So again, from a live perspective, just trying to let members know in case they might not be on the live stream, or maybe they missed a note. And so just trying to help. The goal is not to only catch wins, but also avoid losses. None of the stocks have changed. Nvidia is still bearish. Microsoft is neutral. Apple is neutral. It could flip long on the next candle. And then Amazon is still bearish. By the way, copper played out. And now you can trail your stop and just let this run as far as you want. Or you can take profit and move your stop loss to break even in theory, because you've gotten to a box that can reload long. Platinum over here still has a little bit further to go to, well, I mean, the average win on platinum with our stats is 91 points. And it just hit 90. So that's a full average win. The next box is 100, but this is also an area where you should be looking for reasons to take some of this idea off of the table. And then reminder, oil folks, we're trying to get up to this line right there for 150 points is the next target in the monthly system. Can just sort of sit on Russell since it's the only one active at the moment. Morning smoke. I know you said that you can see that we have it up now, but at the moment there's nothing on the NQ to take. It is in a valid bullish confirmation. Sorry, it's in a bullish confirmation, but it's not valid because the ES has to be long. So if you are an NQ trader, the couple of things that we'd love to teach you is that if you're an NQ trader, you are also an ES trader. You don't have to trade the ES, but if you only watch the NQ, it could be one of those reasons why sometimes consistency can be an issue. And then the next layer to that cake to help you be successful in a live environment is if you're an NQ trader, you have to be watching SQQQ and UVXY. They are the opposite direction of the ES and NQ. And so when these bad boys confirm the same direction and these two confirm the same direction, the probability of your win moving fast in your favor and winning overall, the win rate goes up exponentially. So that's something that we're watching and why we have our charts like this rather than just having a single chart up like you guys see from most other people. I also typed out the answer for you, Smoke. See if Russell can hold its own against the idea. You guys can see one of our members, Sarah, is in this, and she said she's taken half risk. So what that means is like if normal you take 2 micros or 5 micros or 8 micros, you just would divide that number in half, and that would be what you would be looking to do. So Smoke and anyone else on the YouTube side or Discord, I'm going to leave this Russell play up because nothing else is active at the moment. And so it's the only thing on the screen worth watching unless we can flip back and forth to copper and platinum, which by the way, now there's the full average win. You can see over here, like I was saying earlier on copper and platinum. Platinum is 91 points. We hit 90. Now essentially the floor is falling through, which is fantastic. And that's 164 points now on platinum. And then copper, we just wanted to get 56 points and we're almost there. The average win on copper is exactly there. Oh, no, one more tick. So that's the full average win. Again, just showing you guys, look right here. There's the win amount and then there's 56 ticks. So let it flow. Still got further to go on copper to hit that average win. And again, not expecting much. We're about to have another close here. I don't think anything is going to activate. Once we get to the next close, just letting you guys know, I'm going to go fill up my coffee, try to get a little bit more energy getting into this New York Open. So if you guys have any questions, please let me know before I go and do that. I'm trying to do my best to not just meander and talk and try to fill up space. In trading, there is not always activations or plays that we need to discuss like crazy. And then usually when we just continue to do that, we're trying to look for reasons to take trades, which would, when things are not valid, so then we're just gambling, and that's not how we operate here. We try to follow our rule set. So yeah. Next close in 3 minutes. You can see right now that platinum is reacting off of the monthly box. There's like a stack here. You see all this red? These are our bearish trending boxes, the weekly and the daily. So another reason why these shorts were going really well. And then True Algo members up here, you can see this is the blue monthly box. So we did have 4-hour close below that box. So looking for reasons to be more aggressive in shorts. And now the monthly is saying, this is where I look to take a heavier profit because the monthly is going to flip neutral now because that play is a win. Solus, you hear, bud? You hear what I just said? Because I know you were asking me a question about the monthly with Bitcoin. So like right here, that candle is considered bearish from the monthly. Let's just say these are 4-hour. We know these are not 4-hour, but there's this blue box. That's a candle below it. It's bearish. Every candle that goes back in here is considered retracement on that monthly. And as long as we don't close above it, your stance doesn't change. But you can see here, it does close above it. So now it's bullish. Again, if it was on a 4-hour, we're not. Then when it comes back down here, now it's back to being bearish. If we were to push back up again, every one of these candles would still be considered bearish retracement. And then until it pushes back down in our favor. But yeah, man, that monthly box right now is flipping platinum. Take profit real quick. You see that across the board. I'm trying to zoom out so you can see. There's the monthly box. And then just watching it live, take profit from it. Question, if you guys can participate with me. I don't have the Russell up, but the Russell's the only one in our play right now. Do you think the Russell currently in the past 2 minutes is up higher, up lower, or still neutral? Like, sorry, when I say neutral, I just mean like it's basically stuck in the same spot. So is it stuck in the same spot? Is it bullish or is it bearish? More. What's your take? And if you're watching it, obviously that would be cheating. But if you're just watching my screen, you guys can let me know. I'm curious what your guess is because our system tries to tell you this ahead of time. And so as we shift back over, the Russell is starting to hold its own in our system. So we'll see if it does its job. Still stuck in the box at the moment. And then the biggest thing over here, guys, with Russell, for any of you guys that like to play the ES, like to play the NQ, I'll make this bigger. Just a reminder that the Russell is the cheapest index or one of the cheapest indexes you can play on or practice on per tick. So if you're someone who plays the NQ or US 30 and you like how volatile it can be because the moves are so big, but you only play one contract, The Russell is one of the ones you can practice on and take multiple contracts, and then you have the ability to scale in and scale out much easier, where you can't do that on the NQ or you can't do that on the US 30. So it's just an asset I think you guys should give more practice to, though most traders think that they're NQ traders only, and it's because those assets move more aggressively. That's the only reason. You can try to prove me otherwise, but I will keep telling you, and I'll hold my stance firm, that most traders say that they're NQ traders because it's more volatile and they can win more, but they don't add the other snippet that they can lose more. So that's why Russell is such a great asset to practice on. Doesn't mean you have to be in the current Russell play. I'm just telling you guys, if you don't practice on Russell, it's a great thing to practice on. And I'm talking about Russell because you guys already know my stance on the ES and NQ. If you're playing the ES and NQ, you should always be looking for reasons to take the ES over the NQ unless the risk to reward is terrible. Because this is a much more manageable asset than the NQ because the NQ has some wild swings. It doesn't mean that you can't play it. It just means you have to just be careful. Okay, cool. Real quick, we have an update and things are starting to change. This is a positive. The US 30 is now also in a long confirmation. So this just activated. See if I can find my brain. This is the average move. That looks great. Looks normal. So just a good normal position. So now over here on the Russell play, I'm going to start taking these off the board and I have to update the sentiment channel. This second candle, green, US 30 is now long as well. So a little bit of help is here for it to push up. So Russell's now long and US 30 is now long. The NQ is already long, but we can't take it because the ES is neutral. So this is positive to try to help that Russell play continue pushing up for the next 30 minutes before that New York opening bell gets tripped in. So now update, US 30 is now also bullish, starting to help the Russell longs. See a bigger retracement from platinum taking profit at our box. Crypto folks, ETH is now in a bullish confirmation just now, 3 minutes ago. But reminder, in order to take a long on ETH, you also need Bitcoin to be long or neutral and then Tether to be bearish. At the moment, Bitcoin and Tether are neutral. They haven't confirmed yet. So if you try to pull up total 2, which is Ethereum's crypto market, that can help build confluence. But right now, that's also neutral. So if you're a crypto person, you're looking for reasons to get into longs potentially at New York Open. But at the moment, there is no long yet. This is still Bitcoin and Tether are both neutral because we haven't closed below or above this box. So just got to be patient. Apple just flipped neutral. It wasn't calls just a second ago for New York Open. Obviously, New York is not open yet, but it just hit the box, so now it's neutral. Man. Sorry, I'm trying to not clear my throat into the microphone. Any questions or anything, anybody? Or specific asset requests? That US 30 play is starting to go a little more in our favor. So is Russell, by the way. Russell just put in a new high on the current candle. I feel like I need to put US 30 and Russell next to each other. Forex, I got you. So UCAD. At the moment, Andrew, DXY is bearish. So anything led by USD should also be bearish. Let me get these things off. So this is the UCAD right here, bud. At the moment, it's neutral. We have not hit anything from our daily box since we've printed. This little hit right here is off of our trend system, which you still can't do anything. But no matter what, DXY is leading the UCAD, and we should be looking for shorts. So the only way to get into a short on the UCAD is it would have to hit this box, which it did not. So if you are a UCAD trader, then this now tells us, okay, I'm not on this one. So now we're going to pop up the UJ as you requested. Same story, because it's led by USD, we should be looking for shorts, which means if it's not looking for shorts, then it's in conflict, and therefore you shouldn't be trying to do anything. And at the moment, the UJ is in a long up here. So this is not an asset we want to play because it's in a misfire with itself. And the last thing we can do is I'll check the pound. We normally use the future side. I'll put the CFD on because I know that's what you have requested. So we can check both. Right now, the pound is neutral. So if you are a Forex person, those three pairs that you just said, bud, our system is telling you to stop. Either things are in conflict or the pound is neutral, which sucks, right? Because you're like, man, I want to get into play. And it's like, to me, it doesn't suck because part of the system is telling us when markets are not in an area where you should be trying to get into ideas. And so Forex land is to do nothing at the moment. There is longs on the euro, so you do have that. The yen is pretty weak, so maybe if you wanted to do minor pairs, the euro versus the yen should be quite bullish. See? So trying to see if there's a long on here, and there isn't yet, so that's not going to help either. I'm just checking pairs against the yen because the yen is weak right now. Just trying to see if True Algo has any longs available. Nope, not on that one either. So can check the futures chart real quick too. The Russell looks like it's about to put in another new high. US 30 is a little stalled at the moment. The pound, see, this is the thing about the futures chart and why I don't teach our members to use CFDs. The pound is long right now and valid on the futures side, but on the CFD, and depending on which broker you use, they're going to be different across the board with their spreads. So the pound is valid against DXY right now. So long on the pound, short on DXY currently at the moment. A little bit of that take profit that happened earlier on platinum and copper, and now they're coming back down. And then still our current plays that are going. And then those of you guys that are on the YouTube side, we're live in our Discord too. You're welcome to come join us over there, guys. There's no delay on the Discord side where there is delay on the YouTube side. So if you want to join us over there, feel free. And the link to get into the stream is the very first post. So you should be able to see it. All right, folks, I'm going to go make a quick coffee so that a little bit energized going into this New York Open. Let me know what your guys is your drink of choice. While I go make that as well, please let us know. Try to be speedy, but also so I'm not just like talking randomly for the next 25 minutes. All right, friends. We are back. Just had another close about 2 minutes ago. Nothing has changed, and this is just one of those things. Like, I would have stayed and not gone and grabbed a coffee if things would have been really aggressive, but right now, because of how many charts are still neutral, the SQQQ and UVXY still being neutral, it's just markets are going to be sluggish and slow. It is an FOMC day as well, so it could be slow just in preparation for that. But yeah, Amazon's still bullish. Apple is currently neutral as it's already had calls that played up, hit the box, and now it stops. Microsoft is neutral. Nvidia is still going to be bearish, so we'll keep tracking to where this candle closes. The closer and closer it gets to this box is the higher opportunity for better risk to reward on potential shorts. We did get a new low on copper. If you guys were able to hold strong, you're about to hit that full 56-point win here live. And then it should get another bigger drop on platinum. For any of you guys that are like volume traders or things like that, and you're trying to watch order flow, like these are one of those things, like your order flow is going to be different on every broker. So you just got to make sure you're consistent on whichever one you're going to watch. And then the thought process would be like, oh, are we reversing here bullish? And you're going to be looking for those buyers and Delta to be stepping in. But with our system, this still tells us, because of our average win mark, that whatever is coming in, this initial wick up was just people like us taking profit who were trying to match. And there's that full average win now on copper. There's your 56 points versus some people might think, oh, we're going to reverse here. And no, man, not yet. So congrats. Oil did reload a little bit and now getting ready to push up too. Canada's about to have a news event here shortly. If that's what you're asking, Brad. Russell just dropped back down to break even. So a little bit of bearishness just kicked in. Trying to see if it's from any of the specific stocks. Yeah, all stocks just dropped too. Pound dropped really hard too. And then crypto folks, still no activation. I feel like I need to start making random beatbox noises. Sorry, it's a habit. So let me get, these notes off now. We're about 10 minutes from that New York opening bell. Oil's starting to go a little bit better in our favor. Again, just trying to target 150. Let me put that on here. Next target, and then the reason why I'm saying this is the next target till Friday is because we'll have a new monthly starting on Friday. So this won't be here anymore. So currently that's just what we're looking for on oil, I guess. Starting to pull down a little bit more aggressively. This can be one of those things about allowing that. Remember what we said earlier about SPY and QQQ to get down here. There's about a 71% chance that right here that the QQQ wants to get to this target right there. So that can be one of the reasons why we're going to continue to pull down. RWM is getting closer to that box. Once New York opens, these candles will get easier to read. It won't be so small. Copper's next can't talk. Copper's next take profit would be at 5.94 on average. Platinum's now into our monthly system, and so now it's just a line-to-line thing. It's already traveled 198 points. The average win is 91, so you're already 2x the average. So your next take profit, when you're going line-to-line, is essentially another 100 points lower, because this is 198, and then this is 298. So that'll be the next area to try to take platinum down to. It's a big move in your favor. A reminder, copper 56. Now let's try to go to 89 points. There won't be, unless the ES and NQ get very aggressive here in the next 6 minutes, there won't be any play for those two. And then we'll be jumping off the stream about 15 minutes after New York Open. And then for all of you guys that are here, both on the Discord side and on the YouTube side, we'll be live again in the Discord only about right around 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I try to jump on then when try to help with some of the chop that's usually starting to happen in markets, and can help answer questions live and hopefully navigate it with some nice education in there. So feel free to join us again on that second stream. Hold on. There we go. Excuse me. Oil starting to push up a little bit more. Again, platinum and copper are continuing. You can see the stocks are all starting to be a little bit more aggressive on their current candle to be bearish. In 2 minutes, there's going to be an uptick in volume, which could flip things. But if Amazon stays where it's at right now at New York Open, it will not be in calls. This will be shorts from the box, or puts. Apple, red candle stays right here. That would be puts. Microsoft, someone just sold pretty hard a second ago. You see on that 1 minute. And then NVIDIA is already in puts. So if all four of these are looking for puts, which is shorts, then these, both the SPY and QQQ, will complete that idea to get down, which fits the narrative for ES and NQ, because right now the ES is telling us it doesn't want to do anything except for to get to one of these two boxes, and the stocks are going to lead it. So it just means there's a higher likelihood we're going to this bearish box, which, by the way, I mean, if the ES does this, that NQ, we just really don't want the NQ to close below there. But maybe the NQ gets really aggressive and the NQ does something like this, where it's very aggressive and then does this. The reason why it could be beneficial is the stop loss is going to be smaller and more manageable to then push up, though the ES would be a better stop either way. So we'll watch it together if it gets activated or on the second stream. We're at the 28-minute mark where, there you go, there's Microsoft kicking into gear. Again, that might be a little golden nugget you guys want to write down. At the 28-minute market, at the 28-minute of the New York market, before New York opens, there's a lot of volatility that gets injected into markets. And so I'm going to try to update these closer to what's about to happen right when the bell hits. Amazon's going to be looking for puts. Apple is neutral. You guys see how it's still stuck in the box. We have a True Algo scalp target right here that I might want to clear. Microsoft just cleared one out of the way. It's an older one. NVIDIA is going to still be looking for puts. The risk reward now is getting more and more poor on the NVIDIA shorts. So just don't be too aggressive. Trying to understand why. Am I losing my mind? That Microsoft already printed a new candle. Something's wrong with TradingView. You guys see that right here? Just a glitch that I'm noticing. This candle shouldn't exist yet. That's weird. Russell, heavier retrace. US 30, heavier retrace. Can't do anything on ES and NQ. Reminder, SQQQ and UVXY are still neutral, everybody, telling us to do nothing. See if Russell can hold strong. We'll get some divergence here on the ES and NQ against the Russell and US 30 as well. There's the New York Open. Yeah, I just printed that. Is so weird on Microsoft. NVIDIA's and those puts are active. Amazon's retraced back up. Man, there's very aggressive opening for the stocks. Russell already pushed back up to the initial area it got to, and now starting to push down. See if we can get this SQQQ to come all the way up here and then print shorts, and then that would be longs for our indexes. We shall watch. Big aggressive candles. Finally, some more volatility. Russell's diverging from the NQ as expected. It's holding its own. You guys see this right here? Now look at the candle on the NQ. Look at it. Straight down. US 30 is also diverging, which is what I teach you guys and we expect. So that's going well so far to hold. Puts on NVIDIA just finished playing out, everybody. And so we'll see if they keep pushing down more, but this is the first take profit area. You got to be really aggressive on them. Oh, I lost my brain. I apologize. I was so zoomed into Microsoft, I didn't notice that it was on the 1 minute as I was showing you the quicker movements. Now it makes sense. And Microsoft at the moment, guys, is neutral. It did not confirm for New York Open. Just NVIDIA. You can see Amazon is failing. We did get to the full win. Sorry, we already had the full win on copper, everybody, but there's 89 points now on copper. And you can see platinum also just delivered 297 points live. So congrats. I know not everyone is usually on platinum and copper, but I showed you gold and silver had nothing to do. So nice to get to another asset inside that class and just having an advantage. But there's your next profit being hit in theory. And so what to do now? Play is done. I mean, you've already, again, think about the math. It's 300 points. The average win is 97. That means you're 3x the average win. So this is where you secure. If you want to leave a little bit of meat on the bone, then the next area for you to target would be here. And that's 414 points down on platinum. For copper, it can release off of the daily system here. And if it ever closes green, then the play should be killed and be done because now it's trying to reverse out. As long as these candles keep closing red, then you can just keep going just essentially line to line, which is also box to box in that mentality too. Russell just dropped pretty hard. And now all indexes are starting to follow suit. You can see that they've failed and pushed down. SQQQ is almost to the box now. And so expecting a little bit more of a reaction now to either reverse markets where they're about to be or SQQQ gets above and then all indexes will trend bearish. NVIDIA's puts are still playing strong and stocks are starting to diverge a little bit from each other. Reminder, Apple and Microsoft are neutral. Amazon pushed up really aggressively against it, but now trying to come back down to let these puts play out. Nvidia's puts are going strong. And then the pound also failed with that. DXY is still bullish, or still bearish. It's trying to flip the daily system now. Crypto folks, again, the Ethereum was in a bullish confirmation, but you can see the position's not on there because it wasn't valid. And now, reminder that Bitcoin and Tether were not confirmed, and that saved us from getting into longs early and then now getting beat up. So crypto folks, you still got to chill. There's no position just yet, but at least you're not in a loss, which is what matters. Oil's almost to that next win, guys, up here at 150 points, right at 104.9. Russell's being very aggressive with the movement on this candle. If you look at a 1 minute, it's very aggressive. I'll show you. This is what I mean. Come on. There we go. That's what I mean by aggressive. It's still holding. US 30, not so much. In a live environment, US 30 would be killed from how far it dropped between these boxes. And then now it could essentially reload bullish off of this. But before I do this, I need the NQ to do that, and I need the ES to do this. Then we can get a True Algo trifecta. And then also this would happen. And then we have a really good opportunity for longs. But as of right now, the US 30, lower probability. And True Algo members, just note how US 30 is not diverging anymore from the NQ. It's staying the same direction on these two bad boys. Meanwhile, Russell is trying to hold its own. It's trying its best to hold it, or hold the line, so to speak. By the way, QQQ did push down, so did SPY. I kept hitting the Command Z button, so I lost my, there they are. Reminder of that 71% to clear it. It just did. SPY is telling us we can still go just a little bit lower, everybody, before getting into potential reversal longs or continuation into new shorts. See, NQ about to pop the box. The ES still has further to go because of that SPY too. It needs to get right here. I'm just worried if I put that on there, it'll cover the candle. Yeah, exactly, TT. I see the same thing. SQQQ is doing its thing right now from our box, which is going to slow the indexes down to try to reverse them right now. Check UVXY. So up here at the top, you want to see, did it hit a box? It did not. It's still going to be neutral because the box is higher. Yeah. So UVXY is still not going to be helpful, which could mean that, again, the ES still needs to pull down lower. We'll stay over here on the SQQQ. Nvidia starting to take profit now on the puts. Amazon failing. Apple, Microsoft still neutral. And then now starting to get some, trying to get this out of the way so you can see, again, that full win done. And now, once again, taking profit. We're 30 minutes away from this close. And reminder, the average win on copper is 56. It's run 50 or 89, which is about 1 3/4 of the average win, which is great. But that daily system now, we could do a full 180 daily to daily, essentially like that. Now getting some more stalling with some wicks. See that SQQQ stopping everything in its tracks right now, right here. You know, markets are in a little bit of a weird spot when US 30 is not diverging from NQ, but the Russell is. Obviously, they're all in currently showing a bearish candle, but just showing us again that markets are not moving as normally or conditionally as we expect. Again, could just be because of FOMC day. Still 6 minutes from the next close and still expecting the ES to pull us down further, guys. One of those times that I'm glad there's another live stream scheduled so that you can see there's some developments that get to play out. One other thing that I'm monitoring too is we have 1, 2, 3. We can check Tesla. The reason why I check these stocks, everybody, is I'm trying to see how many assets are hitting boxes for these index futures to see if it can help them. So I'm checking Meta, Google, and Tesla to see if they're all hitting boxes. So Tesla would be, this is the 4th, there's the 5th, and then did Meta 6. So 6 out of 7 assets right now are all hitting a box below. And so this is one of those things, True Algo members, you guys want to note. The Magnificent 7, 6 out of 7 of them are hitting a box. And they're reversing exactly like how. You guys see how they're buying? So it means that we could be bottoming right now with our system, which the biggest inkling is right here. That SQQQ is telling us, hey man, I'm trying to bottom the indexes right now and then looking to push up. So that's something we just want to be aware of, and why I keep taking an eye on these, especially when they're all hitting a box, or the majority of them are hitting a box below. They're not hitting boxes above right now. And now I'll go back to the normal ones that we all watch to double check. Oh my goodness. I think Amazon, right? It's the only one that wasn't. Yeah. Amazon's the only one that's pushed up from a box. All the other ones are, sorry, Amazon did not hit a box below in reverse, but it is already pushing upwards, which is very bullish. You'll see Apple hit a box below, is pushing up. Yeah. So this should be pretty bullish once we finish doing our divergence for New York. We just really need to get the ES to go down further to try to activate. And if not, then it's going to be boring. Three minutes from this next close. There won't be a new position, guys, on this current close. It'll be the next preceding candles. So if you guys will join me on that second stream, we can try to see about getting a development. And so the biggest things I'm looking for are these two things to happen. This being the biggest one, that the ES wants to pull us down, and then there's our long, which the NQ, as long as it doesn't close below this box, is going to be in a long with bearish retracement on any of these candles. We could also look for that. It just has further to go, but has less room to run in that case. And then the US 30 can come down finished the first 45 minutes of New York Open issues and divergences. You can see like the NQ is pulling up pretty hard right now, but the US 30 is dumping. So it is starting to diverge again. And then you can produce something like that. And then in 2 minutes away, you would need to have this candle close red. It's not going to close red at the moment. So that's still not telling us that the SQQQ is short. We can see the box doing their thing. But at the moment, it's still, unfortunately, neutral. It doesn't look neutral, right? But again, following our rules, that candle would have to close red, and it's not. So if it closes green and stays up here, then that's why I believe it can still do this, then close red. Now it's short, and then it does this, and that would match exactly what we see right here. So that's what I'll be looking for. And I'll leave this on the board with us, guys, as we go into the next stream together. Stocks, you guys see this divergence too? Look at Amazon, look at Apple, and now look at, that's Meta. And look at NVIDIA, and then look at Microsoft. Give me 1 second. There we go. See the candle difference? So stocks are being a little wonky. We did get a little bit lower of a push here on copper and platinum. By the way, we just hit that next target on oil. So that's 100 and, the 150 points was the goal. The next target is another 100 points, 290. We're at 150, so 140 points higher. But again, that's you can see they're literally taking profit on it. You see it? Look, there's the line. So we just hit that next take profit on oil. Commodities they're at it. Man, that play did not take too long. Posted it 22 minutes ago, just a reminder of it. Again, if you didn't take it, it's no big deal. Just trying to notate what's on there. Just like US 30 and Russell struggled. I'm not going to try to hide behind it. All right. There's that next close. Amazon's now looking for calls. Apple is still neutral. Microsoft is looking for calls. NVIDIA's in new puts. So you can see, let me get these circles out of the way. You can see that there's still inconsistency across the stocks. So we have bullish, neutral, bullish, bearish. So two are bullish, one is neutral, one is bearish, inconsistent. Let me get the first one off so it's not there. You can see NVIDIA's new puts are pushing down too. Russell's actually in shorts, which is against the trend, but longs that lost earlier and now shorts are active. SPY did get down to our box. Remember what I said to you guys that I want the ES to pull down further, and you can see there it is. So now the ES has gotten to our box. There's the SQQQ pushing up into this little hump to allow that ES to get to the box. And now we're just monitoring, can it close green? And now we have longs activated across most of the board. You can see US 30 also pulling down into this area. So watch for potential big long reversals to set up. But again, keep all eyes on SQQQ. UVXY, guys, isn't going to be as helpful right now because it's still pretty neutral across the board. We did get a bigger push, so maybe. That's a positive. It's still nowhere near it, see? It's got way further to go. So keep your eyes on SQQQ. All right, folks. I appreciate you guys hanging out with me. Sorry that the markets weren't too explosive in one single direction, a little bit of chop, but we do see like we might be getting these developments into a nice reversal here where current markets are at. The both commodities went really, really well. Forex, a little bit of a struggle, and then obviously that Russell initial US 31 was a bit of a struggle too. NVIDIA played out really well, but not everything is ever going to win. But I appreciate you guys hanging out with me today. Again, if you're on the YouTube side, please join us in an hour on Discord for another stream. I appreciate you guys hanging out with me. I'll see you guys in a bit. You take care.